So, on pole position for the Senior Rotax B final, it's William Pemble at number 96. Second place is 73, Daniel Mortonis. With row 2, number 10, Nathan Kacper, and 17, Mark Sayers. Row 3, 44, Ross Tyler, and 91, Ben Page. Row 4, number 41, David Marzal, with 66, Samuel Cook. Row 5, 99, Kacper Pajecki, with 50, Dylan Norris. Row 6, number 16, Nathan Geisey, with 90, Robert Harrison. Row 7, 64, Luke Collins, and 36, Ollie Ward. Row 8, 97, Julian Rapeza, and 87, Clive Ching. So, the Senior Rotax B finals then. Not as many drivers as the juniors.
Oh, big spin into the barriers. Oh my goodness, on the warm-up lap. Is he okay? No, his Kart's not. The 96, William Pemble. He was supposed to be a pole sitter, and he's out the race before he even gets underway.
I have absolutely no idea what happened there, but that Kart is undrivable, isn't it? He'll try and get it all the way back, but to be honest, he'd be better off just pulling over to the side.
Yeah, he is. Oh, that is so gutting for William Pemble, and so embarrassing. Poor lad. He was just trying to warm up the tyres, and we've said that so many times. Is it red flag? We've got a red flag out on circuits. We've said that a few times before, haven't we? Warming up the tyres, it's good. It's going to give you more grip for the race start, but sometimes the drivers, we do feel, overdo it just a little bit, and that was a clear example of one of them.
There's always someone to fight. Lucas Ellingham types, isn't there? But there's also the real beginners, intermediates, and everything like that. So, yeah, you realistically, you turn up, and there's always an opportunity that you could get racing.
Are we going straight to green flag here?
No, I think we're going into...
I'm not sure, because there was...
Well,
the timer's not going down, so I think you are right.
I think we're on another formation lap, essentially. Here. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, definitely another formation lap.
It would be weird if we just...
It would be a little bit odd.
Yeah, we're straight into racing. But we are racing again in about 30 seconds time, which is always nice. So hopefully the Marshal is doing well. We have heard that he's absolutely fine. So,
I think it was just a precautionary check type thing. I think they're back in their post now.
Yes, exactly. Well, if the post wasn't manned, or marshalled, I should say, actually, then we wouldn't be able to race, would we? So,
indeed.
Yeah, and hopefully that's the last red flag we have of the day. I'm not sure the timetable can take many more, so fingers crossed, that's about it.
We've got to try and fit all this in before the sun goes down.
Which, of course, we do get an extra hour now,
don't
we?
We do.
It's probably not properly dark until about 7 o'clock, but everyone has homes to get to, and well, especially Leeds. It's 2.5 hours away. I don't fancy leaving at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, good luck with that, mate.
Yeah.
That's when I thank my lucky stars I'm 30 minutes done.
Yes, well, aren't you? Right, let's focus on what we have in front of us now. It is the Senior Rotax B final, of course, and we'll be having, well, not William Pemble leading the way, will it? That's why they had to change the order.
Yes.
It'll be Daniel Martinonis who gets us underway, and it does look like we are racing. Yes, we are. We are running. There's no false start just yet, so this is how they get through the B final. The top 4, remember, just like the juniors, are the ones to get through. The 73, Martinonis loses out, and he's dropped down to 2nd place.
There was a big send, wasn't it, from, it must be Nathan Kacper who was behind. And a big snap there from Daniels. That's all, big bit of contact, they're both off. Daniels off onto the grass, he holds it together. He gets a bit of an early bath there, as even though it's been dry for a while, the grass is still very wet on the outside there. So a bit of contact between those two, and Daniels coming off worse.
Yeah, the wetsuits have been taken off, so that's all that lovely mud has just stained all the nice normal race suit there. It's going to take some fairy liquid to get out, I'm sure, or whatever they do to get stains out, I'm not really sure. But
we're so old.
Oh, we are. It was so rubbish as well. So rubbish at adulting, the fact that I don't know if fairy liquid is what you use to get that stains out as well, person or whatever you do. Nathan Kacper in the lead of this race, then Ben Page is the number 91, who's in 2nd place. David Marzal actually is in 3rd, and remember, if you haven't heard many of these names mentioned over the course of the day, it's because this is, of course, the B final. So those drivers who probably came from about 20th down to 30th in their respective races and battling it out to try and get into the A's.
Exactly, yeah, and it's so close amongst both the junior maxes and the senior maxes, of course, having a B final. In this one, the top 2 were tied on points, and 3rd and 4th were also tied on points going into this race, so super close. The starting grid having to be decided by fastest lap time, which is just ridiculous for a final. But here we go then. 8 minutes and 20 left on the clock. To remind you, these B finals all 10 minutes plus 1 lap. I apologise, I was wrong earlier. Not 8, 10 minutes plus 1 lap. As there down the inside goes the 66 of Samuel Cook. He's overtaken 2 on this opening part of the lap, has he? Or is the 41 slightly further ahead than maybe I think? I think he is. So up into 4th now for Samuel Cook.
Samuel Cook, one of the ones that we've mentioned.
No, it is, yeah.
That we spoke to during the Kart show.
Yeah, I think it is on the Alonso car.
Yeah,
yes.
that he was working on his own car, and I put him under pressure, and he started spilling all of his.
Yes, that was him.
All of his spaces.
I think so. I think you're right. Yeah.
Samuel Cook then. Well, it certainly looked like it anyway. The number 66. The same looking Kart anyway, regardless.
And you said, I'm distracting you, but I don't care.
Yeah, basically. Well, I've got a job to do, you know, and he wants to have a chat.
That's a good move.
Yeah, coming out of Oblivion then, the number 91 is going to be forced onto the outside. The 41, David Marzal, goes through into what I believe is 2nd place. Ben Page drops down into 4th.
Indeed. Samuel Cook! Oh, he's spinning! Oh, that's a big incident. Watch out, guys! Oh my goodness. Big incident down at Ashby. Another driver just happens to come up to them at the wrong period of time and has to spin off in avoidance. We'll check who that was when they come over the start-finish line, but oh, blimey, that's an interesting middle part of the race, wasn't it?
Yeah, the number 90, Robert Harrison, actually, through that midsection there, for some reason, was going off the circuit as well. It almost looked like he wanted to turn right.
It was Nathan Guzzi who took the avoiding action there and ended up losing out the most because of it. So Samuel Cook, where is he going to end up? He's in 9th place, and I think Nathan going to be right down at the back of the order now. Is that heavily defensive from 41? It is. That's Page trying to fight his way through, and Kacper Pajecki trying to follow him through as well. They're nearly 3 wide, heading down to Ashby. No yellow flags out there, so all the drivers have managed to rejoin that were inside that earlier incident. But this is 2nd down to 4th place. All these drivers making it through currently, but down the inside goes the 91 of Ben Page. Through follows the 99 of Pajecki. But look at this, Dylan Norris, one of your novices, the novice Norris, I said that earlier, it's actually correct now, getting involved in this top 4 battle. And one of these drivers not making it through to the A final. Who's it going to be? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think you said that Dylan was the leading Norris, actually, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It's absolutely true now. The number 50. There was a driver there getting a contact warning on the board.
it was a stop weaving for David Marzal.
Ah, okay.
It was
so
no weaving.
Over-aggressive defensive manoeuvres, basically, for David Marzal there. It's, I mean, the weaving didn't help him because he's dropped down to 4th place, hasn't he, instead of being in 2nd. But, yeah, you've got to make sure that you can move once. You definitely can't move under braking. You can't move really more than once when you're on a straight. So the idea of going right to left is considered very dangerous.
Yes, definitely. No, you've got to be predictable to the driver behind you, or it can be extremely dangerous, as you say. Here we go then, onto another lap of the race. Nathan Kacper is absolutely cleared off. You can barely see him going through the back of the camera shot there. He's over 5 seconds in the lead of this race now. Ben Page still commanding this second place, even at the front of this group. Kacper Pajecki behind, then a small gap back to David and Dylan. Dylan's still pressuring, but Dylan's still being the one who's not making it into the A final at the moment, but still 5 minutes to try and do something about that.
Yeah, it's a long time really, isn't it? Especially with that extra lap as well. So he's got every opportunity as Dylan to not only make some moves of his own, but picking up some positions where others might start falling over each other, especially Ben Page and Kacper Pajecki, because these two look very, very close indeed. And Pajecki doesn't really look like he fancies lying down. He wants 2nd place. He wants that buffer between himself and the rest of the field. And right hunkered up behind, going through Oblivion. Is there going to be a good run over towards Christmas Corner here? Looks over the side of Ben Page and opens the door. Here comes Pajecki.
Good move down the inside. Textbook takes 2nd place away from Ben Page. You'd think Nathan Kacper has over 5 seconds in the lead. Oh, he'll probably just chill out, slow down a bit. Nope, fastest lap of the race on the last lap, 44.61. Still faster, only just, than these guys all battling in behind. Now, one thing I do want to mention, Daniels Martinonis was the one who had a bit of a bath earlier on in this race, got forced out wide at Ashby. Already back up to 7th, already only about 3 or 4 seconds off of this battle. If these guys continue to battle, still 4 minutes left in the race, I'm not counting him out here for getting in the top 4.
No, absolutely not, especially if he goes quickly. Ollie Ward's just gone very quickly as well,
wow.
44.56. So a new fastest lap goes the way of Ollie Ward, who's in 6th position, of course. So he needs to catch up to the back of this little group to have any chance at it, and that's a full 2 seconds down the road. So, well, 1.5 seconds down the road. So not counting my chickens, but a lot of drivers putting in a good show.
Yeah, I'm watching out for Ollie Ward, Samuel Cook and Daniels Martinonis, 6th, 7th, 8th, all trying to chase down this battle. It's just how this one unfolds, whether the battling continues or whether they all start giving each other a little bit more room here. I don't believe that for a second, though, no. in senior Rotax. All of them going to wanting to get up into that A final, because that A final, you can already tell, is going to be absolutely mega.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be, well, very, very close. If the previous rounds that I've commentated on the WMKC, the seniors never disappoint. And to get all the points that are on offer, obviously you want to be going into that A final in a good position as possible. So whether you're in 4th or 2nd, in theory, we might say, oh, it doesn't really matter because we're in the A final. But actually, a lot of these drivers will be thinking, well, that's one extra row further forward that I can start in the A final and maybe pick up a few extra positions for the drivers that were just ahead of us. So, yeah, 2nd to 4th, these guys aren't going to let up.
Yeah, no, very true. And also, I think one thing you'll find as well, now we've got this new system. Of course, last year they would have a heat on the Saturday, then a few more heats on the Sunday and a final. This year they have qualifying, which sets up their grid for their 2 heats, and then of course the heats result sets it up for the final. So you more find that people are usually in the positions that really they should be on the pace that they're in, so you don't get too many crazy battles like we had last year of people completely out of position and sends left, right and centre, and it would sometimes mean that people from the B final could just fly up the order and get up into the A final.
Yeah.
But now that's less likely to happen, so it's going to mean that, as you say, getting that one extra grid position on the grid could really make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not going to come out here and sort of say any sort of my major opinions on whether I think the new qualifying order or anything like that, but it certainly does offer up a difference in the racing styles that we saw from last year, isn't it? With these, I think they were just random grid orders from last year. It was an average that everybody had to basically average the sort of 10th place or something like that, or whatever was the middle of the grid, and that meant you had one pretty much starting from the front, one from the back, and one from the middle. Did offer up some very exciting races, but it did mean that a lot of people maybe missed out on potentially where they deserved to be with their pace and everything like that, because they got caught up in other actions and stuff like that. But with this one, now it's just qualifying dictates race 1 and race 2. It's not like second fastest lap dictates race 2 or anything like that. So it's a bit more down the line, a bit more simple. People know what they're dealing with. It does put a lot of pressure on time qualifying, doesn't it? Which is something that pretty much every other series in the world, especially when you go into car racing, they all do qualifying, so you have to learn how to do it, but it's a bit of a different experience. Yeah,
no, it's understandable, the changes, but something new for us to learn in 2023. Marcel moving over to defend pretty heavily here, as round the outside, tries the number 50. Is he going to get it done? What a move from Dylan Norris. Moves himself up into the top positions as they make contact back down the inside. I don't think he had a choice. Goes the 41. Retakes it, but now trying where the outside is Ollie Ward. Ollie Ward up into 5th place already. Going to go up and under into 4th. Half a lap, and he goes from 6th to 4th. And off goes Dylan Norris. He's gone. He's off the road. He's out of this battle. 36 now finds himself up in the top 4. So within half a lap, he goes from well off of these guys to now finding himself potentially in the A final with only 10 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, mad stuff really, isn't it? That's what can happen in a go-kart race. It just changes the flip of a coin as they go up towards Christmas corner, the 99 and 91. So I've absolutely no idea how they've ended up coming out of that one. We don't even know if they've come out of it. That was Pajecki and Ben Page, and I think Ben Page was the one making the move. Pajecki was the one defending. What we're seeing is Nathan Schaefer. We are not on the final lap.
I think that was them coming round. I think they have made it just about.
We're not on the final lap. We are on the penultimate lap. We're about to start the final lap. Contact warning with Pajecki. I wonder if that's anything to do with what we cut away from. There was also a contact warning with Ollie Ward. That was about 10 minutes ago.
So Page did get through in the end.
Yeah, Ben Page did. He's got about 3/10 of a gap to Pajecki now. There they are. We've picked them back up. Ollie Ward is in 4th place still. He's got about a second, well, about 8/10 of a second between himself and Marcel.
Doesn't matter though, as long as he's in that top 4.
Well, that's what I mean. Marcel doesn't have, is not really a threat, is my point right now. Is Ollie Ward is quite happy in his 4th position, probably watching the 2 ahead of him with a lot of interest, because he's going to be racing so again in about half an hour's, well, probably about an hour's time, to be honest. But Nathan Schaefer has done everything he needed to and more. He's won this race by 7.77 seconds, and probably a little bit more as they come across the line. He's going to be going into the A final. Who's going to be joining them? It's likely to be Ben Page, the number 91, Kacper Pajecki in the number 99, and Ollie Ward with a really astonishing comeback in the number 36. Top 4 all making it through.
Yeah, what a great end to the race there for Ollie Ward. Really, really impressive. And he started in 14th in that one. Not 10 bad. Positions gained through to the A final. You go, sir. Take a bow.
Yeah, not bad at all. It was a bit of a shame for Dylan Norris, don't you think, as well, though,
Oh,
John?
proper shame. He had the fastest lap for a lot of that race and still did at the end, but just got involved with that battle, didn't he, between Ollie Ward and, was it David Martial?
Yeah.
And just somehow found the grass on the outside of Ogiers, and as soon as you touch that, it just drags you further out.
Yeah, so in the end, he wasn't the leading Norris. He was actually ended up the second novice, shall we say. Nathan Schaefer confirmed as the first place. Ben Page was second. Kacper Pajecki was third. Fourth was Ollie Ward. And then I'll round out the top 10 for you. David Marcel was in 5th place. Samuel Cook was in 6th. The winning novice was Daniel Martinonis, who was in 7th, with 8th being Luke Collins. Ross Tyler was in 9th, and then Dylan Norris, who I think he just caught a lot of the dirt on the outside of that area of the circuit, which obviously has been dragged on from when we were racing in the wet earlier on, and unfortunately, once you get on that dirt, you're never going to be coming off it. Nathan Guzzi, Robert Harrison, Julian Rapeza, and Clive Ching rounded out the 14-strong field. Bit of a shame that we had the red flag and everything in that one, John.